So guys, this is Jay Kaushal, a motivation speaker and life coach, and I have been gone a while. Well, I have been really busy, but I'm always thinking new ideas, and there's always something going on in the background, so that when I come back, it's always with a different flavor. So glad to be back. Today we're going to be talking about this upcoming lunar eclipse. I mean, it's not really upcoming, it's happening probably at the time that you're watching it. It's going to be taking place on the 8th of November. It's going to be sometime in the evening in India. And this is the last eclipse of the year. We've already had had a solar eclipse, and so now the solar eclipse was right on the next day as Diwali. And so now we have this lunar eclipse, and it's the last eclipse of the year. And interestingly, moon is going to be exalted because it's going to be in Taurus, and it's going to be in the nakshatra of Krittika. So Krittika is a nakshatra which is a very sharp nakshatra. It's a nakshatra which means to cut or to detach, but it's also cutting in the way of purification, so to speak. Okay, so when we talk about this nakshatra of Krittika, and we talk about the energy of the full moon and the energy of the lunar eclipse here, one thing that you can be sure of is that you're going to be quite incisive in whichever area this is happening for you on, in your chart, on the basis of your sun sign, rising sign, or moon sign. Okay, so let's get into it sign by sign and see how it's going to be panning out for you. Okay, let's get started. Okay, first up, Aries. So Aries, I see that there has been a lot that's been happening in your life of late, especially with respect to the many initiatives that you're taking. Probably you're feeling that your willpower is at a high. You're feeling like you can take new chances with life, new chances with things, with yourself. Probably you're working out a lot these days, or pursuing entrepreneurial ideas. It's a good time period of movement because Mars is going retrograde in your 3rd house, and Saturn is going direct in your 11th house. So it's a intense time period of work, I see, especially in the last 45 days. This energy is something that you must have been feeling. Okay, now this lunar eclipse is going to be taking place in your 2nd house, and the impact of every lunar eclipse, and the impact of every eclipse in fact, is felt up to 6 months after the eclipse. Impact of every full moon is felt around about 2 days prior and 2 days after the full moon. So you're going to feel the bulk of this energy over the next 1 or 2 weeks or so. And the main area in which you're going to be feeling an upsurge of this energy, where you're going to be seeing some changes, are in the area of your finances, are in the area of your home, speech, value system, fixed assets, gain of property, and it could also be if you've been wanting to buy a new vehicle for a time period, or buy a new convenience like a good phone, good laptop, or nice clothes for a while, or things like that, the finer things in life, because all of that is considered your property, right? Everything that you own, that your convenience is, even it's a good sofa, good curtains, they're all your property, right? So if you've been planning to do something of that sort for a while, or if you've been planning to buy land, or if you've been working hard towards some sort of a savings goal for your bank account, I see that this is actually going to put things in perspective for you and give you a lot of clarity with regards to those ambitions of yours. Okay, so this is a good energy all in all for you that I see in your chart, happening in a good place, but a little bit of the negative impact, because that negative impact is going to be there, because the nakshatra of Krittika is not easy to deal with. Krittika is the nakshatra of leadership because it's ruled by the sun, but also the sun is symbolic of sacrifice, right? So So when we talk about this nakshatra, there is always this element of having to let go of something, having to cut off something. Okay? So on the basis of what I'm seeing in your chart, it is quite possible that you might encounter some conflicts at home, or you might encounter, some conflicts with respect to, your savings. You might have to make a small break. Any fixed assets that you had for a while, sell them off and put that money in a different place. And that may not be what you are comfortable doing, but it will be in the best interest of the larger scheme of things, which correspond to the themes of property, themes of conveniences, themes of your internal security, motherland, transport, things like that. Okay, because it's mostly the energy of the fourth house that I'm seeing. Okay. So that's it. I'm going to be going more into detail with respect to the other transits and other planets in videos that I'm going to be doing soon. But with respect to this lunar eclipse, this is all that you need to know for now. Okay. Thanks a lot for watching. Take care. Hari Om. Okay. Taurus. Hi. Taurus. Over the last 9 months or so, 10, 11 months in fact, because this started in January, you've probably been feeling a focused energy towards yourself, your body, your life path, what you want to do, what you want to accomplish, what you want to create in life. And that is because the North Node has been transiting, your first house. And in this process, you might have also found yourself, depleted, frustrated, and alienated at times. You had to let go of some relationships in the past 1 year or so. There have been some conflicts in the past 1 year or so. There have been some difficulties with respect to your business, with respect to your relationships, maybe even your marriage, things like that. At the moment, I see things are going great for you in terms of your relationships. There's a new energy, new optimism which has been going, which has been going on in that area for the last 45 days or so. In the workplace, yes, I know you're working hard. You've been working very hard for the last 3 years, but you're going to be rewarded pretty soon. I'm going to do a video on Saturn, as it transits to Pisces. So I'm going to be doing a video about that. But at the moment, just bear in mind that you are going to be rewarded for all the hard work that you've been doing, all of the effort that you've been putting out, and continue to do that, just a little bit more. Okay. I see that a lot of gains have been coming your way. Probably some, arrears. It's possible you've received pending raises or any sort of back payments, profits, or etc. I think you may have received because of Jupiter going retrograde in your 11th house. Old friendships coming back. A general optimism with respect to new sources of income and stuff like that. So that's a good thing that's happening. Now, the energy of this lunar eclipse, it's taking place in your first house. So the focus is going to shift right back to what you've probably been struggling with, since the beginning of this year. These themes of focusing on your life path, focusing on your life journey, focusing your energies towards the achievement of objectives in a particular area of your life. This could be your health goals. This could be, goals related to your body in the sense that, a way that you want to look. It could be related to your assets. It could be related to anything which is central to your life path. Okay? And now you're going to have to take a very honest look at the habits that you need to chop off from your life which are holding you back. The emotions, the ideas, or the patterns of self-sabotage that keep holding you back in life. So you're going to be taking a hard look at these areas of your life related to yourself. And journaling is something which can help you immensely. I would say journal. If you're not familiar with journaling, there are a lot of videos here. Please check them out. Journaling. I made an entire series, man. So check it out about journaling. Journaling is going to help a lot. I'm going to be posting more videos as well. But the reason that I'm emphasizing journaling is because this energy, I always try to keep a positive spin to everything, but this energy is likely to be a little difficult for you to deal at first. Suddenly you're realizing, man, I'm going to have to be the person to make this change. I'm going to have to be the person to do everything that I wanted. And maybe if I'm not getting there, it's because of me. And that, when you get into this pattern of thought that it's because of me, it's good. It's good if you build upon it, but can also bring you down if you're not cautious, if you're not strategic about it, okay? So, not to worry. Just focus on physical activity, work out regularly, and journaling is what I'd say is going to help you a lot, okay? Thank you so much for watching, my lovely Taurus. Take care. There you go. Okay. Gemini. Hi. Gemini. Looking at your chart, what I'm seeing here is, Mars going retrograde in your first house. You've been going through a spell of, ADHD-like enthusiasm over the period of the last few weeks. There's a lot of energy that I'm seeing in your chart, in your first house. A lot of physical energy. And sometimes what happens is this physical energy, when we don't act on it, it can end up frustrating us because the body has a lot of energy. The mind, I see in your case, the mind is not at the right place. The mind is dealing with issues of the past. It is dealing with difficulties in letting things go. But the body at the moment has a lot of energy, and unless you do something about that, you can't just launch yourself into spells of anxiety, spells of confusion, spells of frustration, anger, rage issues, and not knowing exactly what to do, how to do it, where to go, stuff like that. Okay, so that's the retrograde Mars energy that's going on in your first house. Then you have Saturn transiting through your 9th house, and that has been going on for the last 3 years. So, look, there is definitely a change in your belief system. There's definitely a change in how you approach things and how you look at things long term. The bigger, larger view of life and your knowledge per se as well. That has changed over the period of the last 3 years. In your workplace, I see things are good right now. It's time to put in more hard work. It's time to put in more effort. And don't slack off at the moment because Saturn is going to be coming there in January. It's Jupiter right now, going retrograde there, having fun, cruising probably in the workplace, enjoying, it's cool. It's not always going to be cool because, look, the workplace is where you're getting a lot of luck at the moment. And right now your focus needs to be addressing where the North Node is transiting in your chart, which is the 12th house. Okay, and so this full moon, this lunar eclipse is taking place in your 12th house. So it's not a very easy energy to deal with. It's a difficult energy to deal with, and if you've been trying to, cut your corners with respect to analyzing what things in your life you need to let go of. Analyzing and understanding, forming a deeper connection with yourself, with spirituality, with meditation or jogging or things like that. Building a better connection with solitude. If you're still in a place where you're uncomfortable with your solitude, and this full moon is going to give you a lot of difficulties because the energy of this lunar eclipse is directing energy towards your 12th house. It's directing energy towards building a better relationship with just yourself on your own. Not like sitting at home watching Netflix. No, that's still not building a relationship with you. Not, sitting at home, lying on your comfortable couch and reading a novel. No, that's still not a relationship with yourself. Your relationship with yourself, your solitude it's about understanding why you do what you do, why you crave what you crave, why you think the way you think, and why you want the things that you want, things like that, okay? So those are kind of the things that I'm seeing here in your chart. You might be tempted to, make a lot of expenditures this time period, the next few weeks, even the next few months or so. You might be tempted to take some journeys in ashrams, or go practice yoga or something, things like that. You might be tempted to travel, and addictions are something that you need to focus on and be very mindful of, because that can be something which starts off as a coping mechanism, any kind of addiction, food, drink, smoking, whatever. But that's something that you need to be mindful of. And I would say the easiest thing that you can do right now is make a regular routine of exercise and meditation. Journaling obviously always helps, okay? But there is a video that I've made on solitude. It's part of my Live Limitless series. It's right here on, on this channel. You can check it out. It's going to give you a lot of clues about, exactly becoming comfortable with your solitude and things like that. Okay? Thank you for watching my Geminis. Take care, Aries. Okay. So we have Cancer. Cancer, hi. So Cancer, at the moment, the energies are such that you probably may be falling prey to repetitive patterns of thought, may not be able to, sleep easily at night, probably be encountering sleep issues or nightmares, or, just plain restlessness. And I see that, it's quite possible that that's kind of the phase that you're going through. With respect to your work, I see that things are going, okay. There's a lot of action that's going on in your workplace at the moment. But things all in all are going okay with respect to your work, with respect to recognition, with respect to what you want to achieve. Building contacts, opening up new streams of revenue, new streams of income, things like that. It's all going good. At the moment, there's a lot of happiness also that that you're being blessed with as a result of the transit of Venus on Mercury. So I don't think that there's any problem here. This lunar eclipse is going to take place in your 11th house, and that is going to be focused on yourself and what you attach the concept of achievement with. Because, the moon is your ruling planet. And so the lunar eclipse is obviously going to impact you a lot more than in any other sign. Okay? So, what's essentially happening is that, your ascendant lord is going in the 11th house, and that's where this lunar eclipse is taking place. So, moon is going to be the nakshatra of Krittika. And Krittika is a nakshatra which is about separation and leadership. It is about sacrifice. It's about cutting. Okay? So, the way that I'm looking at your chart right now, the themes that are popping up to me is that you are possibly going to be restructuring your network circle, restructuring your goals in life. Like there's a major shift that I see coming in your approach towards your friendships, how you make money, and what you want to achieve, your aspirations. Like, for example, you may have been planning to buy a Mercedes for a long while, but now you're sitting down and you're planning it out. Hey, if I've always wanted to buy a Mercedes, and a Mercedes costs, like $10,000, $60,000, whatever, right? Based on what you want. If Mercedes costs, $60,000, then what do I do? How do I plan for it? Or should I not plan for it? And should I just, plan to go there step by step? Right? So I see that this is something where you're now taking a lot of action on the goals that you've had, your bucket list. And if you feel that your dreams or your goals are impractical, you're going to be cutting them off. Same thing with your friendships, I see. Same thing with your network circle. If you feel that your friends and your network circle, they are not adding to your life, they're not adding to, what you want to do, what you want to accomplish, then you're probably going to be just cutting them off and changing your network circle to a huge way. Maybe even the way that you make money. Okay. So all in all, once again, this is a time period of journaling. Look, every time you have an eclipse, it's a time period of journaling. In fact, journaling is something that you should always be doing. There are videos here on my channel, about journaling. You can check them out. They can help you out. The journaling in this phase is going to, help you a lot. Self-reflection, meditation. But yeah, take care of your body, I would say. Take care of your health in your case. Okay? Some of you might be encountering health issues, and then, that is something which could be a possibility. So, watch out for that. Okay? I never like to say this, never to put doubts in anybody's mind, but, watch out for that. Get essential tests done, if they've been pending for a while, or if you think that you could have any sort of niggles, any problems, it always helps to just go out there and get yourself checked if something's bothering you. Okay, things of that sort. But as such, the main theme that I'm seeing here is it has to do with your goals, your ambitions, and the network circle. Okay? Thank you, lovely Cancerians. Love you. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Hare Om. Leo, hi. Leo, at the moment, you probably may be feeling a little bit short of confidence. Or maybe not really short of confidence, but you're kind of in an introverted mood at the moment. You're not really feeling the need to express yourself in a way or do something, to prove yourself, or you're not in your usual Leo-like, shiny, happy, dynamic energy. You're more subdued. You're more focused on being true to the internal work. You're more focused on spending time at home, spending time, enjoying what you've created up till now. Maybe you're just enjoying cooking. You're enjoying your hobbies. You're enjoying gardening. You're enjoying, watching some nice movies, taking care of yourself, taking care of your body. It's all good. With respect to your relationships, there has definitely been a topsy-turvy rock and roll, roller coaster situation that has been going on for the past 2-3 years. But yeah, that is also settling down. You have reached a very good level of balance with respect to relationships, being assertive, setting boundaries and everything. So, kudos to that. With respect to your goals, yeah, there's a very good energy thanks to Mars retrograding in your 11th house with respect to, okay, I want this and I want to get it, and I know as hell that I want it and I'm passionate about it. So what can I do to get that? That's the kind of energy that you are with respect to the goals that you have, things that you want in life. It's a very dynamic, good sort of energetic drive. Although you're not essentially going out, after it, in a sense, like, completely going all in, but you're planning well. You're setting good targets and you're achieving what you want, okay? Now, this lunar eclipse is going to take place in your 10th house, and look, it's a full moon as well, so that energy is always there, because, lunar eclipses take place on full moons, and moon is going to be in the nakshatra of Krittika. Krittika is the nakshatra of the sun. Krittika deals with cutting, but it also deals with leadership. It also deals with getting ahead, you're purifying, so to speak. Okay. So, what's happening in your life with respect to this lunar eclipse is that your focus, your goals, and your the way that you envision your reputation in the world to be, what you want to do, what you want to accomplish, what you want to create, you're going to take a lot of action in that area, and suddenly it's going to be inspired action, but it's going to be action which is going to be very practical, very incisive. So it's going very well with the planning energy that you're going on with respect to Mars, and the resting energy that you're going on with respect to Ketu, Venus, Mercury, and Sun in your 4th house. Because what this is doing for you is it's making your mind work in a very logical and practical way, that okay, if I want this, I need to do this, and if I want this in my workplace, if these are the kind of results that I want, this is how I want people to see me, this is the kind of reputation I want, then I'm going to have to cut these things, I'm going to have to let these things go, and I'm going to have to focus on these things. That's the energy that I see it's coming. You're going to be getting into this energy of the Knight of Swords, so to speak. If you're aware of tarot, you're kind of getting into the energy of if there's anything fishy about you, you're gone. I don't want you around me. Get lost. Get away from me. Because now you're actually in the final processes of sort of perfecting the kind of thing that you want, how you begin a sculpture, and you're sculpting your way towards the actual image, the actual face of the sculpture, etc., and things like that. And you're imagining, and first you're just chipping away blocks. Your main focus is to first give it a rough physique of, let's say, a person, and then you're focusing on limbs, hands, stuff like that. Now you're getting into this final stage of perfecting everything so that you can unveil your great work that you've been at over the past 2-3 years, in fact. Okay, this is a good energy, and don't think twice about having to let go of people, or having to let go of any sort of project which is interfering with the main goal you have. Because it's very important right now for you to remain focused and keep your eye on the goal. Don't even keep your eye on the prize, just keep your eye on the goal. Because if you keep your eye on the goal and you keep on with this energy, you'll get it. Okay? You'll end up surprising yourself, probably. So thank you so much, Leos, for watching. Take care. See you next time. Virgo. Okay. Virgo. Hi. So Virgo, there's a lot of energy right now with respect to relationships. Some of you have probably gotten back with your ex recently. I am pretty certain of that. And some of you have finally exited a relationship that you had been trying very hard to exit for a long time. Okay, you've exited some sort of a situation. That's good too. I'm happy for you, right? With respect to all the struggles that have gone on in your life over the past 2-3 years, or the difficulties, health problems, debt, things like that, I see them also drawing to a close pretty soon. Okay, you've been working very hard the last 2-3 years. I can see it definitely in your chart. At the moment, the energy with respect to your work is going great. With respect to your workplace is also going great. Great communicative energy. Just make sure that you watch everything that you say when you're dealing with your bosses, or just dealing with things of the workplace. Don't make the mistake at all of saying anything in the heat of the moment, or even anything that shouldn't be said, like making a joke that could be misconstrued, or any sort of a passive aggressive comment about your boss in front of, let's say, your team or anything, or they could go and tell. Just being in this state of mind that when I'm in the workplace, when I'm dealing with people at work, when I'm dealing with work situations, I just have to be at my best and keep my temper in control. And if I'm thinking 100, I'm going to say 80. That's it. Okay? Or even maybe even less. If you could get by with 60, do that too. Okay, that's the energy that you want to be with respect to your work. With respect to this lunar eclipse, it's taking place in your 9th house, and a very important theme that you will be encountering is going to be related to your feeling of being lucky, your feeling of being fortunate, your relationship with your father, any journeys, any academic progress, any sort of research study, any books that you've been wanting to publish for a while, any papers that you've been wanting to publish for a while, things related to that. So this full moon is actually good for you. This eclipse energy is actually pushing you to take action towards the achievement of the things that you want, and doing so by expressing your expertise. Okay, for example, you want a position, let's say as the chief manager, okay, and you've been eyeing that position for a while and you don't really know what to do, how to get there. I mean, your record is good and everything is good, you're just waiting for the higher ups to promote you that position. So a good strategy for you in this situation with this placement right now would be to take up all of the opportunities that are available for you to demonstrate your expertise. This could be in the company meeting summit. Don't ask for it, just show how much you know in this period. This is a period where the more you show, the more you express, the more you let it be known to everybody how much you know, how much you're good at it, right? How much depth you know your craft with, the more likely things are going to manifest for you. They're going to happen faster than you imagine. Some of you are going on a journey, some of you have been planning to go on a journey for a long while. If you were planning to get into some sort of higher education, the startup course, something of that sort, please do it. It's going to be good for you, good time period for you. If you've been planning to, publish a book for a while, you should do it. If you've been planning to release an interesting video for a while, you should do it. With respect to content, it's a great time period. Okay, it's a great time period with respect to content. If you're into any sort of creative profession, okay, this is a very good time period for you, and you're just going to be taking a lot of action very fast. Things are going to be moving very fast for you. But remember, the energy of the nakshatra of Krittika, in which this lunar eclipse is happening, is the energy of cutting away. So you're going to have to cut away things that don't belong in the current formula that you have. Okay? That's just something to keep in mind. Thank you so much, my lovely Virgos, for watching. I'm going to be posting a new video pretty soon. Take care. Wish you the best. Radio. Okay, let's take a look. Libra, hi. So Libra, what I'm seeing in your chart is good times are coming. First of all, this is something that every Libran has been wanting to hear, because you guys have gone through the toughest of times over the last 3 years, especially the last 9 months. Man, it's been tough for you. I can see it here. So good times are coming. Don't worry. They're going to be here soon. But here's a catch. The energy of this full moon is kind of pushing you towards a final transformation. And it's going to throw up a lot of murk, possibly, a lot of dirt, a lot of unresolved issues, a lot of emotional baggage, a lot of fears, a lot of problems. It's going to throw it all up as a final clearing of the blockages that you've had in your life, so that you can clear them out and move ahead. Now, don't allow yourself, and I know you're all very strong. If you're not, you have been strengthened over the past 3 years, I know that. But what I want to say is, don't allow yourself to, fall prey to the idea that, okay, I should have it by now, that's it, I just want to escape. Don't fall into escapism. This is the time to move towards the difficulties, move towards the challenges. This is what the time is right now. If you're facing challenges in any area of your life, if you're facing difficulties, challenges are coming up, and you've already been having a hard time, a few challenges are coming up, face them. Solve the root of the problem. And this is where you're actually being called to go down to the depth of your soul and pull up the extra ounce of power that you need to push yourself to the next level. Whenever it's difficult for you to get something done, even, let's say, an easy chore, a seemingly easy, simple chore, okay? If it's difficult for you to get it done, and you're trying really hard and it's not happening, that's because that is going to take you to the next level. Simple things. Getting your sofa upholstered. If you've been putting it off, knowing I want to do it, I need to do it, man. Simple thing like that. If you've been procrastinating it, you've been getting caught up and not able to do it, that's because it's going to take you to the next level. Respect every little conflict in your life. Respect it. Show it the due respect. Because you don't know which little action or which action of the hundreds and thousands of actions that we take throughout the day, throughout the week, throughout the year. You don't know which of those actions is actually going to turn the tide for us. It's that one good decision, it's that one aha moment which changes lives. But you're not going to reach that unless and until you respect the challenge of every moment. Okay? So, some of you might be getting an inheritance in this period. Some of you might have to get a surgery in this period. If you've been planning to go, get a surgery in this period, good. There's nothing to be scared of. If you haven't, it's always a good idea to just, get yourself checked. I'm not trying to scare anybody. If I'm seeing it, I'm just telling you, okay? So just don't be scared, don't be triggered. I'm just saying. Health problems, etc. It's best to go get yourself checked. It's best to seek help if you need help with respect to any mental health issues, any marital issues, relationship issues. Okay, any financial issues as well. If you need help, seek help. I see a lot of people stuck in businesses that they don't know how to manage, control, keep afloat, and they are just not opening up about their problems, when you could just open up about your problems to somebody who can really help you, and if they're good with money, they will find a way to make it profitable for themselves as well. Okay? So opening up is very important. Okay? But just remember over the period of the next few weeks, that's when you're going to feel this energy the hardest, the most. Any challenge that is coming up, it's just for a little while more. It's that final, final wave that's, just coming over, and you just have to weather it and don't run from it, face it. So, okay? So, thank you so much for watching, my lovely Librans. Take care, Hari. Okay. Scorpio, hi. Scorpio, at the moment I see that a lot of you probably might be, encountering a feeling of wanderlust. A lot of you just don't want to be home right now, and there's a lot of upsurge of good, positive, happy party energy. Jupiter retrograding in your 5th house, very creative, romantic energy that I see going on in your chart. It's good. But then there's also this energy of havoc that Mars is creating in your 8th house, because Mars is going retrograde in the sign of Gemini. So there are some sudden events that probably may have been happening, or that you've been encountering, or just the way that your mind is feeling. Maybe you sudden fears might take over you from time to time, sudden anxiety, things like that. But all in all, at the moment, I'm seeing that it's a good, positive period for you, in which you have made considerable progress over the last few months in building more relationships, in growing spiritually. That spiritual growth may or may not have been a conscious growth for you. Maybe it just happened as a result of everything else that was happening in your life, but nevertheless, you've grown spiritually in the past 8 to 10 months. Okay? Even if that has been as a result of any sort of physical issues, problems, things like that, still I see a lot of spiritual growth. At the moment, what is happening with respect to this lunar eclipse is that you're going to have to take a very honest, hard look at your relationships, at your business, at your dealings with people, and contracts, business contracts. Basically, any way in which you deal with people, you're going to be taking a very, very honest, hard look at that. Because there are people in your life, and that's always the case, there are always people in our life that we cannot always take to the next level. And we need to be honest with ourselves about that. We need to understand, okay, if I cannot get this person out of my life, well, sometimes you can't cut family out, right? Then how can I set better boundaries to protect my energy, to protect myself, to protect my peace and protect my happiness? How can I do that? Okay, so I see those themes coming up. The main theme that is coming up for you is there's going to be a lot of gain of new relationships and gain of new interactions with people. But the main thing here is going to be with respect to understanding how you deal with them, understanding where you draw boundaries, understanding how you learn to better deal with all the people in your life, better deal with all the people that you come across. Okay? For some people, this could be related to issues related to litigation. It could also be in general related to your work relationships. Okay? So whatever it is, these are good changes that are coming about in your area of relationships, but ones that are going to require you to cut away patterns that no longer serve you, and even cut away people that no longer serve you. Because that's the energy of the nakshatra in which the moon is. The nakshatra of Krittika is the nakshatra of leadership, it's the nakshatra of purification, but it's also the nakshatra of cutting away. Okay? So for you to actually have the kind of relationships you want, for you to have the kind of fulfillment from the relationships that you want, or fulfillment in your career, in your business that you desire, or even proper contracts with respect to your clients, you're going to have to renegotiate those contracts. Cutaway clauses that don't serve you, renegotiate them. You can renegotiate things with respect to even your loans. You could do that. You have to work on it. If you're not happy with the terms of your current relationships, change them. Find a way how I can change it and change them. There's no point being this self-sacrificial martyr. You don't need to be one. Okay, so that's the major theme that I'm seeing here in your chart. That's about it. I'm going to be making more videos about other transits as well. But with respect to the full moon, I would say with respect to the lunar eclipse, this is the major energy that I'm seeing in your chart. Thank you so much for watching. Hari Om. Okay. Sagittarius, hi. Sagittarius, at the moment what I see in your chart is that you're encountering a lot of challenges, a lot of difficulties, a lot of work. A lot of work is what I see. Could be a lot of challenges, difficulties, debt, things like that. Things that you don't want to do. There's an abundance of that right now. But then there's also a lot of energy with respect to getting those things done. At the very moment, it seems that you're kind of in a protected shell-like energy where you're spending time at home, enjoying what you have, enjoying the things that you've created, and staying to yourself. And it seems to be a time of reflection, a time of indulgence also. A lot of people at the moment are probably indulging a lot, encountering issues with with respect to addictions and stuff like that. Could be some conflicts going on with respect to relationships, but yeah, definitely there's a lot of energy of passion, indulgence that I'm seeing in the chart right now. So there have been a lot of important initiatives. There's been a lot of hard work that you've put into something over the last 2-3 years, and probably some important restructuring as well that has gone into your talents, your confidence about you being able to do things and create things, and your relationship with your friends, peer group, colleagues. Maybe you've been traveling a lot for work to and fro. It's quite possible. Maybe you've been writing a lot, maybe you've been creating a lot, maybe you've been typing a lot. Okay? Whatever it is, there's been a lot of hard work that's been going on towards something which has really taken you out of your comfort zone, pushed you to develop your courage and your willpower. It's taken a lot of effort. That's been going on for the last 2-3 years. Okay? So, yeah, things are going to change, mostly for the better. So there's nothing really, with respect to general energy to be worried about. With respect to this particular full moon, this particular lunar eclipse, the majority of the focus is going towards your 6th house. It's going towards the house of debt. It's going towards the house of budgets, health, working on all the things that you don't want to work on, working hard towards things, developing those things, carrying things to completion. That's what I see here. And so those of you who have been not taking care of your health, who have not been taking care of your pets, who have not been taking care of, health of even your family members in general, I would say that this is a good time period for you to get down to it. You might run into money suddenly that helps you pay off your debts, but yeah, that's where like you're really taking stock of the problems in your life and like putting them on the table and dealing with them. Like, okay, let's bring them out. Let's just deal with them. Let's figure out what to do. Okay? If that is not what you're doing, if you're still in the stage of feeling overwhelmed about this energy, like what do I do? Why do I feel it so much? And what the hell? Like why has suddenly all of this just magnified? What do I do? It has magnified because you probably had not been paying attention to it before, and now you're going to have to. All in all, your 6th house is calling for attention in any case, because that's where the North Node has been transiting for the past 1 year. So the energy of this lunar eclipse is focusing you in the direction of taking the necessary steps that you need to take to just simplify your life. Okay? And so the nakshatra of the moon is Krittika nakshatra. Krittika nakshatra means to cut. It's kind of the energy of this nakshatra. It's a sharp nakshatra. It cuts knives, sharp objects, scissors, things like that. They're all Krittika. The Krittika is a nakshatra of the sun, so it has a, you could think of it more, cutting away to purify. So you're cutting away the inauspicious, cutting away the bad things, cutting away the things that are weighing you down. This could be anything with respect to, health problems, disease, debt, or even relationships, whatever it is. This is a time period where you're going to be doing a lot of actual work, and it's good if you can keep a journal and maintain a journal in this period, and mainly work a lot on your health right now. It's a good time for it, I would suggest. Okay, get a health checkup done if you haven't gotten one done in some while. It's good to get that done, but also focus on your health in this period. I would say it's going to help you a lot. Okay, so thank you so much for watching, my lovely Saggies. See you soon. Hari Om. Okay, Capricorn, hi. My lovely Capricorns, at the moment, I see that there is a huge buildup of this energy as a result of this lunar eclipse in the area of creativity, expression, romance, study, power. But I see that there is a surge of energy in the area of improving your life. That's where all of your thought, your mind seems to be going. It's been there for the last 11 months because Rahu has been transiting through your 5th house. It's been there. But at the moment, I see that this lunar eclipse is kind of adding a nos gas to this formula and just pushing you that, okay man, let's get to the bottom of this. Why aren't things improving? What do we need to do to improve things? So you probably have been in a phase where you've been enjoying some of the fruits of hard work that you've been putting in over the last few years. You may have encountered a lot of financial difficulties over the last 2-3 years. Problems in the family, problems related to your eyes or your teeth as well. But you've also gained a lot of friends, a lot of communication, good communication with a lot of people. And at the moment, there is a lot of energy of a lot of activity going on in your 6th house because Mars is going retrograde over there. So you're probably feeling a surge of energy or health, or just wanting to take better care of your surroundings no matter where you live. This could be as big as taking care of your surroundings with respect to your locality, your city, or your area, and as simple as just taking care of your house, fixing things, formatting your laptop, defragmenting it, stuff like that, getting your phone serviced, getting your car serviced, getting your clothes mended, making sure your laundry is done on time, with the nice fabric softeners and everything. But there's a lot of energy of getting things done that I see, and when you top that up with this energy that's coming along of cutting away all the unnecessary emotions or all the unnecessary things, feelings, etc. that are stopping you from getting ahead in life, I see that you will be making a lot of good progress as a result of this travel, as a result of this lunar eclipse. So this energy is good for you because this is a lot of energy of doing whatever you need to do to improve your life. Okay. For some of you, you might be getting rewarded for some sort of an educational, test that you took, or some certification, or some educational, qualification, things like that. So all in all, I would say that this is a good energy. It is also signifying a lot of gain of new relationships. I'm seeing that in your chart, and good gains in your career as well is what I'm seeing. Okay. So just remember that the nakshatra of Krittika is about cutting away. It's the nakshatra of the sun, so you can think, it's kind of like cutting to purify. So when you're thinking about your happiness, when you're thinking about moving ahead, understand that if a hot air balloon needs to rise, it needs to let go of loads. So unless and until you are very strategic and focused and conscious about what you need to let go of to rise, you're not going to find yourself being able to do that. Okay? So that's all, my lovely Capricorns. See you soon. Thank you. Take care. Very good. Aquarius, hi. So Aquarius, what I see here in your chart is that in terms of your ego, in terms of your life path, in terms of your body over the past 3 years, obviously you've undergone a lot of changes with respect to all those areas because of the transit of Saturn. And in your career as well, there has been some sort of restructurings, there have been changes, okay? You focus more on internal happiness, home, family, and building assets. The growth has been more internal over the last 1 year or so. Finances are looking good at the moment. Creativity as well, looking pretty good because Mars is going retrograde in your 5th house. So that's nice. which shows that you have a lot of passion at the moment, and you're probably investing as well aggressively in the markets. It's quite possible. What this lunar eclipse is doing is kind of reinforcing the same patterns that you've been feeling over the last 1 year or so. And if you've been dealing with them negatively, this is your chance to deal with them positively. Because the North Node is transiting through your 4th house. It's going to be there until the next June. And now this lunar eclipse is kind of reinforcing that. It's kind of enhancing the impact of that in your 4th house, because it's going to bring up a lot of themes related to home, assets, family, home life, and internal happiness. So at the moment, your focus needs to be on your internal happiness, your inner life, your family, your home, your assets, and how to maximize them, how to take care of them, how to build them, land, property, things like that. Your car, your phone, your laptop, all these conveniences. This is where your focus needs to be right now. And once you take care of these things, and once you understand and have a great action plan with respect to what you need to do, how you need to build it, you put your energy in that area, money will come, don't worry about it. The opportunities are just going to come, but that's what you need to prioritize. Instead of thinking, oh, I wish I could make that much money, or I wish I could get that job or get that position. No, think, oh, I wish I could, I've always wanted to get some wooden work done. I wish I could do that. I've always wanted to get, oak wood ceilings or stuff like that, done. I wish I could do that. Think in those terms and the money will come. Right now is the period for you to focus on what makes you happy. Focus on what makes you happy. The means to its achievement will come. That's the simple message that I have for you. The other signs got elaborate messages. For you, the message is so simple. Okay? Thank you so much, my lovely Aquarians. Take care. See you soon. Hari Om. And my lovely Pisces. Hi. How are you? At the moment, I see that there's a lot of amalgamation of energy going on in your chart. Themes of letting go that you've been struggling with over the past 2-3 years. At the moment, internally you're feeling good about yourself, about your life path. You're feeling positive. You probably might be giving good advice to people as well. You may have also put on a little bit of weight. It's possible. You've been pampering yourself a bit too much. But yeah, you're kind of trying to make up for all the tough endings and things that you've had to let go over the past few years. I get it. Mainly what I see here is that there's a lot of drive, there's a lot of energy of initiative that you've been feeling in your life, that you've been directed towards as a result of the transit of the North Node through your 3rd house. And what this lunar eclipse is doing is that it's enhancing that energy in your 3rd house. It's enhancing the energy of you going out there and making things happen for yourself, going out there and taking action towards the things that you want, going out there and perfecting your craft, working on your craft, no matter what you do. Writer, coder, analyst, manager, whatever you do. You will not be the best at something. You will not have confidence to take up challenges unless and until you are great at what you do. When you are great at what you do, when you have 100% belief in what you do, and how you do it, that's when you are truly courageous, because you know that what you do it very well. Okay? So this is a time period of you perfecting your craft. There could be some arguments, passionate arguments, or suddenly heated moments with your peers or your team members or your siblings even in this period. but they will quickly settle down. So be on the lookout for that. You could be overthinking in this period a lot, traveling a lot as well. The energy of travel is quite there, at the moment, short travel. But then there's also, I see a very creative energy of wanting to create things, wanting to write, wanting to paint, wanting to, sew, garden, things like that, using your hands type. So that's good, because the way that I'm seeing your chart, the focus, the energy needs to be towards the area of taking action. Okay, this is not the energy for you to just sit tight and just see what's gonna happen. This is the energy at the moment of you getting things done. And for you to get things done, you also need to understand that you're gonna have to cut away unhealthy habits, unhealthy elements of your life that keep you from taking action, that keep you from following through on the goals that you set for yourself. Because that's what the nakshatra is about. Moon is going to be full in the nakshatra of Krittika. Krittika is a nakshatra about cutting. Knives, and scissors, they're all represented by this nakshatra, and this is the nakshatra of the sun. So it's a nakshatra of leadership, it's also a nakshatra of purification. It's a nakshatra of cutting away what doesn't serve anymore. So I see that there's going to be a lot of resurgence of energy, of positive thinking and following through with respect to the action that you need to take to create those things. But for you to enter a state of complete balance and that zone where you're creating the way that you want, and you just running through life and completely running free, that phase is coming. It's going to come sometime in the beginning of next year. But before that phase comes, you need to zero in on the things that you need to release and that you need to let go. What habits, what patterns of thinking, even what friends, etc. Okay? You need to focus in a particular direction with respect to your skills, because you cannot develop all of your skills at once either. You may be great at the guitar, and you may be also a great painter and also a great coder, but you can't be great at all three of these things. You have to let something go. So it's kind of that's kind of what I'm seeing here in the chart. Okay, so that's all from my side, my lovely Pisceans. Thank you so much for watching. Take care. Are you?